welcome in. Good morning. And happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well today. Hello, hello.
Hello there.
Hello there. Yes, new outfit today. I felt it would be a little weird going into the past with the modern day clothing. So I thought, you know what? Why not just go into a yukata? Why not? Why not? Exactly. Time appropriate outfit. Exactly. And I thought that short hair would be more appropriate as well. But, you know, just time appropriateness, that's all. Thanks. Appreciate that. Hey, Maddie, welcome in. Good to see you. Oh boy, I am excited. I am very excited. I have never played these games before. I have never played the Great Ace Attorney games before. So this is brand new territory. Brand new territory for me. I have not played these games. So, yeah, I'm going blind with all y'all. like Final Fantasy IV. I'm going in, and the Remind DLC. I'm going in completely blind. I have no knowledge of what's gonna happen. No idea. But this will be fantastic. I'm definitely gonna have a great time. We're all gonna have a great time. It's gonna be awesome. So this one I didn't spend much time on, so I'm going off of memory or what little I have of it. I see. Gotcha. No worries. If you need to take a nap, you gotta take a nap. Gotta do what you gotta do. Me and my brother played the beginning of the game, but we didn't know what to do. Interesting. I hope that I'll be able to get through the game so that you'll be able to see it. And of course, Ash is gonna be with us the whole time. We're gonna do happy. Words are hard.
Paw_Prince joins the guild.
Paw Prince, thank you so much for that follow, and welcome to the Shadeslayer Guild. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well today, Paw Prince. Thank you so much. Shades, what's up, Shades? Good to see ya. How we doing today, Shades for Shades? If you haven't checked him out, go check out Shades for Shades. Shades for Shades is an awesome golden retriever VTuber. Go check him out. Plays a variety of different games. Go check him out. He's awesome. Clicking random places always does the trick in these kinds of games. I see. I see. Trial and error, the best we can do for now. Trial and error. Funny. Very funny. BRB ad break. Oh no! Ah, excuse me. Blah blah blah. Hello, Paw Prince! First time chatting! Welcome in. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Oh my gosh, my nose is so stuffy again. Gosh dang allergies. Welcome to summer. I think it's time we get into this. I will get into this, I won't start anything yet, but I want you to listen to this music because once I get it here. Because the music, ooh. Why do we go to the past? Because this story takes place way in the past. The characters that are gonna be shown, some of them at least, are ancestors of the characters we know and love from the original Ace Attorney. So, hence how it all connects together. Yes, and we have Ash here, who is our Shade Squire, our companion, and we are going to brave through the trials together. Yes, well, time travel. Yes, time travel. Yippee! It's gonna be a blast. I'm so excited. So very excited. Let's go. I hope y'all are excited. Are you all excited? Because I'm very excited. This music is so good. I'm hyped. Yes! So the word great is fitting because great can also be used for stuff like great-grandfather. Oh, come on! Oh, yeah. This will be the first time I'll see the game in action. Yeah. First time I'm playing it. I'm excited. Very excited. Can we get a ga hype in chat? Or like Alexander the Great. Fair enough, Seiya. Fair enough. Ah! Alrighty. Let's get to the screen. Let's do this. Here it is. Here's the game. So excited. Let's go. This music, man. Yeah. I loaded open the game and this is what I heard and I was like, excuse me? You're starting off like this? Yes, and completely in 3D. Pretty nuts, huh? Oh my gosh. All right. I'm so excited. I'm excited, chat. Like I said, never played this game before. Very, very excited. Ah. Prepare for graphic flexing. Uh-huh. A 3D AA game? Now I've seen everything. Oh, wait till you get to wait till we get to the crossover. Wait till we get to the crossover. Because I think we'll get to the crossover before we get to Hey Grimo! Welcome in! Good to see you! Hello! Thanks! Figured it'd be fitting for the time jump here. Alrighty though. Shall we get into this adventure? Shall we get into this adventure, chat? Let's do this! Let's do it! Alright, we're in a new game! We're starting a brand new game! Ooh! Automatically...
The Empire of Japan.
Ooh!
After opening its doors,
Oh!
a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation.
Mmm.
The
Okay.
revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was
Whoa.
a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
Whoa! Oh!
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
That's our main protagonist, chat! Episode 1. The Adventure of the Great Departure. Ooh, we already getting intense! We are already getting intense here. Oh. The typing sound is different too. We just started. Yeah, we just started. We just started. All right, let's do this. The 22nd of November, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court Judicature. Supreme Court of Judicature. Defendants Antechamber 5.
Still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate?
Oh, great! And it looks like our main protagonist has been accused of being the murderer. That's great! Oh no! Whoa!
What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer.
Yeah. Okay, rude.
Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Naruhodo! Fun fact, in the Japanese version of Ace Attorney, the last name of Phoenix Wright is Naruhodo, which means, like, correct, basically. So, you know. So, there you go. Yep, ancestors. Alright, bye, Panhead. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay sharp!
I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough.
Oh! Who dis?
Oh! Hello, who are you? Hello, who are you?
Oh my goodness! Hi! Wow! Hi! Sorry.
He's not obligated to listen to such abuse, officer. And who are you? I am this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal.
Whoa! He has a katana? Yo! Okay! Okay! I mean, he looks cool!
So you will hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you, you haven't even graduated yet. And yet I seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave.
Hi!
Right, Ryunosuke?
Ah, no.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry.
Okay! He's cool! He's cool! I like him.
Arya is simping. Arya is simping.
Really?
Arya is simping. Get your notebooks ready, everyone.
Okay! I'll admit it! He looks really, really cool, alright? Really, really cool. He looks like one of those characters that's just really, like, imbued in justice. I get it. I get that kind of vibe. Whoa.
What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, No, I suppose that wasn't my fault.
This guy is awkward.
But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry.
His name is Kazuma? Ooh, I like that name.
Ha ha ha. Here you go again, apologizing. Just like always.
I like that name.
So I must say, you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not! You have to believe me! I didn't do it! I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke.
Aww.
Kazuma Asogi, my best friend, also in second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway.
I like that concept. I like that idea. It feels, yeah, it feels like the law in Japan, this kind of setup is like baby. It's still like very much in baby mode. They're still figuring things out. I like this.
My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes. That's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma! It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last.
Hey, study abroad! Dang, that's an achievement.
I know. Been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and success in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you. I'm proud, as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about change into our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. Wish I could see it too.
Ah, yes, the British Empire. Back when it was still the British Empire.
Then come with me. Have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, it's a time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner.
Ah.
Straight after that. That's when it happened. Asogi, may I have a word?
Oh? Whoa! Hello?
Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. Your advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at the university before. I see. I'll go at once then.
I shall accompany you.
Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the court.
Who's the lady? The pretty lady?
Yes. Thanks, Kazuma.
Awkward.
Ugh. This is awkward.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. That's awkward. That's a little awkward there.
if I may. Yes, sorry? You must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Gunji Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University.
Forensic medicine? Wow.
Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about it. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, he should fail to defend you in today's trial. I'm afraid that permission will be revoked, and never granted again.
Oh! Whoa! Okay, that's a little harsh.
What? Ah, as I suspected, you are unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you.
I look forward to the day we meet again.
Whoa!
Until then,
Hi, Clive.
I hope life treats you well, Professor.
Thank you for the Clive line. Thank you. So basically, if he fails this trial, the permission that he had to go abroad won't work, and he won't, like, will be revoked. That's awful.
He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial.
Oh! Ooh! Tension! Those strings! Ooh!
Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand, once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not.
Oh, phew! Phew!
Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. Ah, it would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as for the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway.
Ouch! Goodness gracious! Dark Whisperers, welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah, there's a lot of tension right now.
This is it. This trial goes badly. Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny.
I'm doing well, Dark. Alright, here we go. Ooh, Time to begin the trial. 22nd of November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Courtroom number 2. Oh boy, here we go. Good morning, Metal Spider. Welcome in.
So this is a courtroom.
He looks so nervous. Poor guy.
Oh my goodness, this poor guy.
His eyes are looking around so nervously.
The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. Don't much like the look of those people sitting in the gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in here. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret. Secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why?
I know, it's so cool. I like it a lot. Deer in the headlights look, I know. Yeah, this was after the crossover came out. Oh boy.
What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now, need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin.
Whoa! Whoa! And that's our prosecutor. Is that Payne? Was that Winston Payne, but ancestor? Oh, goodness gracious.
The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. Yeah, it's Payne. It literally looks like Payne.
As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to make to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do?
Well, we don't really have a choice, do we?
Objection!
Answer, I do.
Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope...
Whoa! Whoa! There it goes.
What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be... What?
Oh, jeez! This is like Ace Attorney 2 all over again. This is justice for all. Not justice for all. This is no, this is case 2 of game 1. This is game 1 all over again. Oh no.
What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikotoba told me everything. Just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off. No! It's not that, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel. It's exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial.
Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already, renouncing his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
Whoa!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent he's confident he can speak for himself.
Hey! The first objection! Let's go! That was cool. The dubbing is well. Done very well. I like it.
This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all.
That face! That is the Phoenix face! It's the Phoenix face in cold sweat! Let's go!
In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed.
As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo?
Yes, Your Excellency.
It is therefore my duty to assert your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So let's start with the very simplest of questions.
What's so supreme about this court? I see no onions, peppers, or tomatoes. Oh gosh. Ah, goodness gracious.
Oh, yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to remember. But, wait. Ugh! I'm so nervous I can't even remember that! What was it again? Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that! It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of E.
Ah, yes! We're getting the court record information.
If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all there. Just have to press E for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose.
Now let's take a look.
This is the evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people with E. You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, press E to go back.
And it gives you information. So this is our victim, John H. Wilson, the victim of this case. He was a visiting professor of medicine at Yume University from the British Empire. Ah, I see. Got it.
So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you'd better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, and press R to present.
Got it.
Yes!
The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson.
Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor of England, invited to Yume University 3 years ago. indeed. Which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at Imperial Yunmei University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor?
Ugh, I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policy makers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner.
Yeah, we got a heavy case right away. Holy moly. Thank you for the stretch. Ooh.
British Empire. Wow. It's incredible to think... Wait.
I'm thirsty.
I've seen that man at university. I think he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruto. Yes, Your Excellency.
Thank you for the hydrate as well.
How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death.
The cause of death, huh? Post-mortem report. Was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. Bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Oh, got it.
The cause of death. Well, obviously that was, Ryunosuke. Remember that in court every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present.
Yep, we got it.
Yes!
Well?
Just got caught up in this just for saying hi. Ouch. Yeah, ouch.
Well... According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma.
Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it.
Sorry, yes. That's right. The, post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later.
This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. Hey, a photo! Also, in this era, how do two students acquire such a device? Yeah, that's a question, huh? You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Point blank range, huh?
Thank you, Counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record.
The photographic print of the victim has been entered into the court record. A photographic print that shows the victim. He was shot from the front in the chest and subsequently died.
So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. Detail is incredible. Very well. I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial.
Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
Ugh. This is it, then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes. Clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. That doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Ah! Of course! When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first.
These two are so much like Miles and Phoenix. I swear. So much. The cold stares from Kazuma and the cold sweat from Ryunosuke. Literally. Cannot go wrong with that back and forth banter. Oh, our first witness, huh? Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please.
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival.
Wow!
Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it really, really should.
As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery. 3 days ago.
Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir.
And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please.
Oh, aspiring maybe, but aspiring?
Oh! The details of the crime. Ooh. I like this theme. Ooh.
It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on. Just let me clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur.
But the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, defended Naruhodo.
Ah!
Oof. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must quietly listen to the witness. Ugh.
If I may confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with gun in hand was the same man we see here in court today.
Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait. Did he just say? There was no one else around that table? What's the matter, Ryunosuke? It's just not right. But I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello. There was a woman sitting opposite him at this table. Really? That's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do?
Well, I think that there's a problem here. So let's interject.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me. What are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer
I
after
just
all?
added Kazuma to Aryu's list and the total number
Oh,
is 99.
gosh.
Anyway, hello everyone. And now it is
Oh,
plug
yeah.
time. If you're enjoying the stream,
Plug.
make sure to leave a follow and check out Lady Aryu's ASMR YouTube channel.
Whoop,
You
whoop.
can also type !mark merch and throne to support our boss Angel even more. You
Ugh,
can
excuse
also
me.
link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account to give a Prime sub once per month to your favorite streamers. Alright,
Let's
Ash
go.
away. Enjoy the rest of the stream, Shade Slayers.
Thank you, Dark. Thank you, Ash, for the plug.
But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of the events is hazy. No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. Ah, a sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now.
Ooh.
Oh dear. Something certainly seems to have shaken him.
Oh dear. He's coughing up a storm here. So, the court has now heard a process of the case.
Yes. At the moment a gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem that we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. If you will admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I call this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime.
What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You've said it. Professor Mikotoba said it. So has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it?
Oh!
What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocent by whatever means necessary.
I like this guy a lot!
Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll just see how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Aochi, please continue with proceedings.
Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. Dark, that's not funny. That's not funny at all. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. Ugh. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witness.
Very well, officer. Bring forth the witness at once.
Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Oh, we have multiple witnesses on the same stand? Oh, this is familiar to me, actually.
Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Iasa Nosa, reporting for duty, sir.
Eee. Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the second district. Curio Korekuta, at your service.
An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing.
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be the diners at the other tables that the waiter mentioned.
Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always past noon, and not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business.
I can't understand a word that old man is saying.
Oh my gosh.
He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at Love Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He's obviously targets Le Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantry over there who unloaded his firearms, sir.
What the? What was that?
What was that? That sounded like a baby crying. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So, it's the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes sir. Standing ready to report, sir.
What the heck is that noise? Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Oh, and our first testimony is here. Our first testimony is here. Before we do that, though, I'm gonna save and take my break real quick. There we go. Alrighty. I will be right back, everybody. Don't go anywhere. I will return shortly. BRB! Alright, I'm back. We are back. And we are getting ready to go here. Right. Our first witness testimony. Oh boy. Let's do this.
I was ingesting a regulation beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man.
Myself. I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman.
At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes.
That noise again! Hey, Grima. Grima's been here the whole time, though.
The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
I was on my hands and knees investing the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio.
Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy.
Goodness gracious! Why do I hear that? Why am I hearing a child?
What times we when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Not really true, Yunosuke. Yes, all I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it, so I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, well, if that's the truth, then there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now.
As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice.
Certainly. The testimony of the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of destruction. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I mean, the defense demands its right to a cross-examination.
Dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic.
Huh? How did he know?
The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Kazuma is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witness. All right. This is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witness's statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but It's not just a case of proving it, and the key to doing that is evidence. Right. Evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves that witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. Alright then. It's all or nothing.
Oh my gosh, the slap on the table instead of the pound.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's really funny.
Alright. Let's see. Let's see. There's one statement that caught my eye. This one here. I'm gonna press on it first.
Yes!
So this black uniformed university cadet, you're saying that was... Ah! I've just about had enough of your sauce, cadet. Who else do you see around here in a black uniform, huh? Well, there's someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well, but... It was you, you little weasel! You unloaded the firearm on that man! From behind his back! And you call yourself a citizen of the great empire of Nippon? You disgust me!
Ugh. That face! The objection.
Objection, indeed. What is it, Ryunosuke? I'm not quite sure. It's something that the sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you've gathered in the court record. And if you find an inconsistency there with what the witness just said, then don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court, thrust it in the witness's face, and make him choke on it.
Okay, that's harsh. But that's still cool. Alright. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go back to this one. Hold on. Hold on.
Listen, Ryunosuke. We know that there are lies lurking in these statements. It's time to expose them. I understand that. The question is, how? Like I said before, the key to this is using evidence that you've collected. You can examine and present evidence while a witness is giving testimony by pressing E. Go through each witness's statement and the details of each piece of evidence and compare all the facts. Somewhere in there, you'll find something that doesn't add up. In other words, an inconsistency. Inconsistency. When you find a statement and a piece of evidence that seems to contradict each other, present your evidence with R and rip the witness apart. Just be careful, because if you assert a contradiction that has no basis, you'll be given a penalty. If you're dealt too many penalties, the defense's case will fall apart and you'll receive a guilty verdict. So that's it. Peruse the evidence in the court record and find an inconsistency with the witness's statement.
Hello, Mega Rock. Welcome back.
Alright, I'll give it a try. You can hear the witness's statements over and over again, as many times as you like. So keep your head and be measured in your attack. Good luck, partner.
Alright. We go through it again. We know what we're doing. Alright. From behind the back, huh? Well, that feels a little weird. Considering that it was noted that the victim was shot from the front. We read it here. Considering that the bullet was said to have been fired from the front, that seems a little strange, huh?
Yes!
He keeps saying yes! It's so awkward.
What? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting this wad of papers in my mustache. Inconsistency. Sir. I mean, yes. There is a clear inconsistency here. What nonsense. What can this document possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I don't think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. Ah! This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Ooh, this theme! Ooh! Oh! Eee!
I like this! I like this! Let's go!
Cosmo, what?
What are you talking about?
It's apparent from a single glance at the post-mortem report presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement.
What?
Sergeant ESA Nosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because, as is clearly stated in the post-mortem report, fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound. The bullet did not pass through the body. The photograph print of the victim clearly shows the same thing. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Ah! Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it?
What the heck? What was that? What was that? Is that a baby?
What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixated on the delicious La Carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Iasa Nosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all.
That's absurd.
I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom.
Ah!
Whoa! It's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from one discrepancy. This is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. That university cadet there. He was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either.
Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure.
Treasure.
Indeed. The Heroiaka Koban, my prized coin. On each occasion, when I visit that restaurant, it is my habit to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Razute.
In the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you?
On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffered my high treasure. I believed that he would purchase such a rare find. I did not, but I was presented with a little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished.
The Koban vanished?
Hunting around under the table, I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there. Then it happened.
You heard the gunshot.
Indeed I did, but heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoe treasure. Nothing could distract me.
Out of interest, you find the coin in the end?
No.
I see.
That lamentable day, the precious Hoe Koban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself.
As I am sure everyone present is aware, his case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness's testimony to the court, as just we heard, was...
Words!
The witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Aochi?
Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but you will find a wolf at the back. My witnesses have further testimony to make.
Explain.
Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What? Really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he?
Ugh.
Very well. The court invites the witnesses to testify again. We will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation.
No, I just stumbled over my words, Dark. That's all.
Is that clear?
As clear as Kiriko Glass. I just used Payne's voice.
As clear as Kiriko Glass, Your Excellency. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up to the ranks, sir. Name Idol. It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Idol. Attention! Your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, boy.
Oh, and these witnesses are amusing as always. Oh my gosh.
Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it was almost the same thing.
Yes, pointing his gun at the foreigner man, he was that young lad in black. That much I myself did see.
Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present.
Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself.
Therefore, no other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out.
Really? So he's babysitting the kid, huh? He's babysitting his kid.
Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all.
Please, enough of these outbursts already.
But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
If you call yourself a lawyer, then you would respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies.
Ugh.
It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact.
Is this a photographic print of the crime scene, counsel?
Indeed. Of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly be seen, there is only one place set.
Certainly, based on the appearance of this print. It would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. Doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record.
Crime scene photo. A bottle of carbonated water and a steak lunch can be seen on the victim's table.
Don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that no one else saw that woman.
Thank you for the hydrate. Yeah, one plate set doesn't mean there was no one in the other chair. Very true.
The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after. Witness testimonies.
Oh, goodness.
The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt.
These are very sensitive political times, as we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Tatsuguchi Aochi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor.
How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it. To draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuo. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witness, but make it quick. Understood?
Rules can be so unbending at times.
Ugh.
Yeah, holding his head like Phoenix, too. Alright, let's see. What else? A visual search of the premise. Can you tell me more about that?
You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
As you have been at pains to point out time and time again, I fear I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman.
Ugh. Only there'd be more people dining there at the time. Then someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. No, of course the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone.
Yes, Your Excellency. There was indeed a reason.
There was?
This was found in the victim's jacket pocket.
What is that, Counsel?
It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant.
Ota Clinic. Ota Clinic. Yes, it would indeed appear to be an entry for the date in question.
Yes, they did bring the profile cut-ins.
19th November, noon past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident.
So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as it really has no bearing on the case.
I wonder. What do you think, Yunosuke? Huh? Well, it's hard to see how it could be related, really. Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted as evidence or not?
Well... Oh! What the heck? Hold it what? What am I holding? Let's ask for it to be submitted.
Yes!
If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency.
On what grounds?
I'm thirsty.
The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
Whether or not they are of no concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues.
I beg your pardon?
You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence. Very well. The court will grant the defense's request.
Dang. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's a most disturbing trend. No, it's just... right. Thank you for the hydrate.
Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record.
Medical report card. A medical report card from Hata Clinic that was found in the victim's pocket.
What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you.
You can conspire to prolong this trial as much as you'd like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these witnesses' testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused, Korekuta-san. Let's see.
Yes!
Let's press the statements then.
So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone.
That I did. Forgive me for the position I place you in. So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. Check if the victim was given nitroglycerin for anything. Oh gosh. There is only one single beefsteak on the victim's table. A meal for one.
No. The antiques dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they were all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea.
Keep pressing. But explain the gunshot. Oh gosh.
Why are you telling the truth? What? What did you say, Cadet? I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible. Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruto, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone. Sorry? The waiter, whose testimony the court heard earlier, clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone. That's right.
Precisely. In other words... Unless the pistol had smokeless powder. Well, no, the gunpowder showed up on the wound, so obviously it's not a powderless, it's not a smokeless. It was a gunshot wound. It was definitely a gunshot wound. There was a bullet wound and everything. So, you know, definitely couldn't be powderless. Precisely. In other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady.
But I...
If such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. And if no such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a blatant waste of the court's time.
There's nothing I can say to that. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. You gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. But perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. How exactly? You'll notice that some piece of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine.
Ah, yes, examine mode! We are in the far past. We are in the far past here. Hey, Jerem! Welcome in! Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Very fitting for the time right now, so...
Press space and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Use the arrow keys. Rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. By using WASD, you can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before.
I'm
The
thirsty.
crosshairs start to pulsate. Press space to investigate further.
Thank you for the hydrate.
So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. If there isn't something new to be learned by examining them in more detail, we'll see if there isn't something.
My bad.
Alright, I'll see what I can do. I need to use the arrow keys, WASD, and space to inspect any areas of the evidence that look suspicious.
Alright. Medical report card. Required for every visit. Oh, it even translates it for you. So that's the victim's name. Oh, hold on a minute. Hang on. What's this? Peel back the corner here.
Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah,
My
There's an
name
entry.
is Ash the Shade Squeer. I'm
Hello.
999 years old.
What?
I am also Space Hobo Wizard. I have
Ah.
caused many wars. If I were challenged to a fight, I would never lose to anyone, no matter the number. I am feared by all in the universe.
Ash. Buddy. No. No, buddy. No. Or as our friend in the Layton world would say, Zoom.
indeed. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he'd had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Though it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. Ah, there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure, until anesthetic effects have passed. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind.
Oh, so he's the one that was not supposed to eat anything? Ooh!
This new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely.
There we go. That doesn't apply.
Let's see.
The fourth, I believe it was the fourth statement. This one. Yep. Here we go. Present the medical report. Hiya! Yes! Here we go!
Well, I think,
About what are you wittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer?
I wish I could. First and foremost here, I'm the accused. Ryunosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully. You knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you ever have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright. And thanks for the advice.
So cool. Deep breath.
Korekuta-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim. Ah, I see. And I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement. Something clearly doesn't add up. Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what?
You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel.
But...
Let's see if I can explain it in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant.
But that's... Remember, Inosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point.
Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else beside this pale-faced pupil who could possibly have perpetrated... Whoa! Ooh! He smacked the table! Let's go! We got the first table smack! Let's go! Yo! He's getting into the groove. He's getting into the groove.
This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that?
What? That outburst half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant?
Perhaps because Hara Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic.
A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me?
Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted?
What's this now?
And furthermore, if I told you that as a result the victim had been forbidden from eating... Just what are you trying to say, Kenneth? We had orders not to eat. So what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't... Korekota-san. What, boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, what's more, you have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic.
Whoa, let's go! Let's go! Big ol' objection there. Let's go!
Expertly done, partner.
Yes, let's go!
You mean cooking, yes. What is this nonsense? You little upstart. These are baseless accusations. Just look at the photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic? How dare you? I think it's fair to say that the tables in the restaurant case have turned. When you agree, Ryunosuke. Yes, most definitely. So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves just one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beefsteak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel. Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright. The answer to this question is going to be pivotal.
Oh, here we go. This is the big point. This is the big point, chat. Whew. This is big point. Big point here.
This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it! So, the person eating the steak at the victim table must have been...
an as yet unknown third party.
Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
You will not let this go, will you? There's no such person.
Yes!
However, there was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was someone else there was eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witnesses' testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial, relentlessly. Kazuma, are you insane? You would take on the government! Don't worry, counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them. Those two witnesses in the stand. What? What are you talking about? We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury? And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit in the killing. Complicit in murder? No! Negative. Therefore, there was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they, told us.
Well, there you go.
Oh. What? What did you just say, Kurekuta-san?
Oh, no.
You were just following orders?
Now hold on, lad. I was,
Say you never saw the gentlewoman. When you say gentlewoman, you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas. What?
Oh! What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair?
Just one simple slip of the tongue!
Right. Oh boy. There is nothing more deceiving than an obvious fact. Mm-hmm.
Order! Order! Counsel, explain what is going on here. It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth.
Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this.
Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut?
Well,
That's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator into this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. Ryunosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Aochi had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It would only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever it was that tried to make the witness keep their mouth shut. Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Yes, it's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing
Once you
missed.
eliminate the impossible, whatever
Whatever
remains, no matter how improbable, must be the truth. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
absolutely. Absolutely.
There's no time to lose. I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe.
Please wait. Your Excellency, I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing.
And what does the defense have to say about all this? Well, Your Excellency. No time to think. It's going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head.
I don't think so. Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga. Wait a minute! So the waiter is actually an inspector? Hello?
Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see what it says under the witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga. Well, yes. Business cards do tend to show that person's name. That's sort of the point. That's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title. Job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here...
Alright. Alright. Well, now we have our proof.
Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is...
Here goes.
Yes!
Here we go! Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Hosonaga-san? A waiter who took the stand earlier.
Objection!
Poppycock!
What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter would not possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter.
What? If he truly were.
Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this chord with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga's real identity, as proven by this evidence.
Here we go!
Yes!
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question. I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should have said the front? Yes! It's the front of the back of the card. That's what the telling detail is. Oh? Would someone please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say?
Oh, goodness.
Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession. His true profession. A waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What? The waiter is the police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in that stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene?
Well... Whoa!
Inspector Hosonaga!
Oh boy, there he is.
I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well. Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. Did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
So, you mean to say, you really are a detective?
But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah! Of course! I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes. There have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then. Inspector Hosonaga, but you will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency.
Just a second.
thirsty.
Thank you for the hydrate. Also, sorry about that. Sibling came into the room.
We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you require these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable! As I suspected. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, a gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, who I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once? It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. Huh? The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yume University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young English woman. What? You are a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. Ah, you mean... When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Jezzael Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yume University's medical faculty. What is happening here? I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimony. It must now be up to Your Excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise, namely that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
But, Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain.
Our own government will surely be very displeased with such actions. Calm yourself, Council. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes, sir. You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau. As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem? Nothing will get in my way. Except maybe that cough. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student, Giselle Brett, to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Your Excellency! Good. And we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening.
Oh, to be continued. That's only part 1! Woo! Alright. And that was only the first half of the first case. Alright. That will be it for today. Holy moly, this first case has a lot. It's like depth. This case has depth. Holy moly. Yeah, I'm a little concerned for the police detective as well. Poor guy. Poor guy. Holy moly, this case is definitely packed. Packed to the brim. We're way back in the past. Our main character is accused of murder. And Arya found her 99th husbando. I mean, what? Ha ha ha. Very funny. I definitely can say that Kazuma is definitely really cool. I like him a lot. Let's hope Ryunosuke pulls through. He will. I have a feeling he will. He will, definitely. I have no doubts. Holy moly, though. This is a case. What a case. What a case. Also, Dark, to be fair, you have to remember. Also, Shoro, please, language. No language, please. But also, my list wasn't fully complete because there were some I left out intentionally. So... anyways. Oh boy. Alright, bye Shades. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay sharp. Accused of Moria. You are charged with stealing the lands of Moria. Apparently so. Alrighty though. Let us go ahead and find somebody to raid today before we head off. Let's see, who is live today? Bada bing, bada boom, bada da ba blah, bada da ba blah. Let's see. Who can we raid today? Let's try to find someone we haven't raided in a while. I mean. Ba ba ba. Ba ba ba. Ba 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 ba. Haven't raided Tsukasa. What Playa is live. What doing? Well, what is playing Chained Together right now? Oh dear. With some friends by the looks of it. Watt is actually a friend. Meloteddy is live. I see that as well. But Watt is actually a friend of someone that we raided before. That would be Miya Hanashiro. Normally, Watt isn't live when we are. so I haven't been able to raid him. But he is a friend of Mia and Tsukasa, actually, who we have raided before when we've been doing Kingdom Hearts streams. So let's go ahead and give What the Playa a raid today. If you are headed over to the raid, which you please should to support What, please type Shadeslay raid in the chat when we get over there, so that we can give our support. We do have a raid message that you can use, but you can also create one yourself if you would like. Also, if you're headed over, be sure to follow all of his rules as you would mine. And once again, as always, have fun. Alright, tomorrow! There is no stream tomorrow, as it is Wednesday, and I do not stream on Wednesdays. But Thursday, we will be back into Professor Layton and the Azra's Legacy. We will be continuing to look for the mysterious girl that is involved with the Azran. I hope you will be looking forward to seeing that. Alrighty. Thank you so much for coming, everybody, on this brand new adventure. I can't wait to continue more next week, but thank you so much for coming, and I will see you all on Thursday for Professor Layton and the Azran Legacy. Bye! Stay sharp, Shadeslayers!